If you begin to think of businesses that are really successful for a very long period of time, they tend to be businesses that had a repeatable model. Approximately 80 to 85% of the main barriers that companies face to achieving their growth objectives turn out to be internal. And we found that there were three things that were deeply embedded across those organizations that seemed to retain youth. And the three things were, one, what we called an insurgent mission, organizations that remain focused on being special and on what makes them unique and having sometimes a higher purpose. That to us is what we call the first element of an insurgent mission. And when you lose that, you lose the soul of your company, you lose your karma. Second element is what we called frontline obsession. Every founder was the front line. They either developed the product, they sold the product, they knew the customers by name. And then the journey to grow begins. And some organizations create layers and muffle the sound of the customer, become internally focused, become a discouraging place to work for frontline employees. I mean, right now, only 13% of people in the average company in North America say they have any emotional connection with the company's purpose or its mission. And yet studies at MIT have shown that 92%, I think, of major innovative ideas come from people in the front line. And so if you begin to discourage people at the front line and make them not feel like the heroes, you lose an amazing source of innovation and talent. And the third element is the essence really of the success of private equity in the world now, and it's what we call an owner's mindset. If you're a founder, the organization is your baby, and you have a huge sense of urgency and willingness to take responsibility. And yet it's possible in some companies as they grow and become larger and have layers and departments and complexity that all the distortions of bureaucracy set in. And it becomes more important to sometimes to look good than to actually be good and to avoid responsibility and blame as opposed to stepping up. And when that begins to happen, organizations begin to slow down. And when you begin to slow down, you become vulnerable to faster companies that have the founder's mentality. And so I think the number one thing people can do is to embrace the three elements of the founder's mentality and constantly say, can everyone in the company state our strategy and how we're unique on a hand? Here's the strategy, here are the elements of uniqueness, these are the crown jewels of the company. Most can't. It should be about the satisfaction and loyalty measures of people at the front line of the business.